It's time for our weekly COVID checkup with Santa Barbara County Public Health. Joining us live now is Dr. Henning Ansorg. He's the Public Health Officer. Thank you so much for joining us on Midday.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so let's talk about COVID right now. Let's get a case update. What are the cases looking like in Santa Barbara County?
Yes, we are averaging 30 to 40 cases per week. So it fluctuates. Yesterday we had a little extra blip in new case reports, but that's where it's been for the last month or so.
Okay, great. There has been concern about the Delta variant. We've only seen about 2 cases here so far. What are we looking at today?
Yeah, that is right. Especially the news from Los Angeles County, where they have had, 50% of their new COVID cases were actually due to Delta in the week 10 days ago or so in that week. So that is very concerning. We are expecting new variant results for Santa Barbara later today. So unfortunately, I don't have all the details yet. And because we get them here once a week, and we will see if we have more Delta variants or not by now.
And there is talk about the Delta variant in children. As we know, kids 12 and under cannot get the vaccine. So what should parents be thinking about with those younger kids and the Delta variant?
Yes, the Delta variant, unfortunately, is much more transmissible. So if one sick person or one infected person gave the virus to about 2 or 3 other people, with the previous variants that we had, this Delta type is given to about 5 to 6 people from one infected person. So it spreads much faster. So therefore, especially unvaccinated people are really at risk for catching this virus because it just spreads faster, and that includes children, unfortunately.
And what would you recommend? Would you recommend kids 12 and under, if they can wear a mask, to do so inside? That's what some health experts are saying.
Yes, that is definitely something that we still ask them to do when in school and when in childcare, etc., when indoors. All children age 2 and older in public spaces should wear a mask. It's definitely something to consider. I would just stress that outdoors activities are much, much safer. So I do not recommend for the children to wear masks outdoors at all. But if you're in crowded indoor spaces, that is definitely something to consider.
And LA County sort of did a reversal, saying that they are recommending, even though if you're vaccinated in LA County, they're asking people indoors to wear masks. But so far, we have not changed on our stance here in Santa Barbara County.
Yeah, exactly. We have not so far. We are obviously monitoring this very closely, and we are, as I said, we're expecting more recent results later today. And understanding that Los Angeles had so many Delta cases, about 50% of the new cases were really due to this Delta variant. That is obviously concerning. They are really close neighbors to us, and usually our trends here trail behind about 3 weeks. So we are just anticipating that we will see an increase in Delta cases in our area, but just at a later date. And we will obviously keep in mind that we might have to recommend wearing masks indoors again. At this point, we are not at this stage, but it's definitely up for discussion.
Okay, and let's talk about vaccinations. How are we doing so far in Santa Barbara County? I know that at the beginning there was high demand. Now that's sort of tapering off. Where are we right now?
Yes, it's really true. In the beginning, people couldn't get it soon enough, and now we have so much vaccine available, and we are just trying all kinds of tricks to get people convinced that it's really in their best interest. Now with this Delta variant, I really recommend strongly to get vaccinated. And in particular, if you only had your first shot and you forgot to get your second one, it's really important to get the second shot, because after the second vaccine dose, the protection against this Delta variant is much, much better. A huge difference. So that's really important. We have about 50% of our complete population fully vaccinated. and about 68% of our eligible vaccination people, means people over 12 who can get a vaccine, had at least one shot. So that's already better than nothing, but we really want to encourage people to get the shot.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. These updates are so important. And where can people go if they want to get vaccinated and they just don't know where to go?
Yes, they can always go on our website. It's publichealthspc.org. It gives all the information. There's another website, myturn.ca.gov, and you can see every single pharmacy, every single clinic. You can ask your primary care doctor, Cottage, Sansom, urgent care centers, the county clinics, CHC clinics in the North County. They all give vaccines, and a lot of them really are walk-up. So we're trying to make it as easy as possible for people. So take advantage of it, I would say.
So much for joining us, and we'll see you again next week.